It's been said that greed is wealth at the expense of others. And
we would say greed is approaching economics from outside the vortex. We would say greed is a belief in limitedness and shortage. And when you think that the pie's only this big and you're squabbling over who gets the pieces, then that feeling of lack is what is at the basis of the word that you use as greed. But when you are in the vortex where you understand, there is an economic pie, a vibrational economic pie that is unlimited. And when you understand that pie, then there's never any reason for greed, because there's no competition, because it's only you and your relationship to what you've put there, you see.
I agree with that 100%. Abraham, just one more thing, and I know you said, getting materialism after you've gotten alignment. This is similar, but I want to see your take on this. What ambition is wealth with the service of others, based on the service of others. So what I'm wondering is
give us more about that. Ambition is what?
Ambition is wealth at the service of others, rather than greed is wealth at the expense of others. In other words, you're taking something and you're not giving back. My philosophy, and I've seen this true for my life, is the more that I give, the more people that I help, and the more people that I serve, the more that comes back to me. And it seems like that's a law. And I don't know if the service of others means that you're in alignment.
Here's what we think you're describing, that the service thing doesn't quite explain. There's offering of service is as good a word as any from inside the vortex, and there's the offering of service from outside the vortex. In other words, if I stand in your shoe, if I see that you need something, and from my awareness of your need, I offer service, there's a vibrational incongruity that gets in the way. But if I am in alignment with the resources of source, and there's no shortage, and I see not your lack, but I'm inspired to co-create with you from my understanding of our abundance, then it's an entirely different thing. As Karen and Esther were walking back to the sleeping room during segment of refreshment, they rendezvoused with a wonderful man who they've known from back in the back, and he said to them, playing with them, "Girls, could you please help me with these dishes?" And both of them said, "We'd be happy to." And then he looked at Karen's name tag and said, "Oh, you're not here to work with me." And they said, "But we'd be happy to if you need a hand on something." All of them playing. Neither one of them were going to wash any dishes. And then he said, "Would you like a cookie?" And both of them said, "Oh yes, that would be very nice," not realizing that the cookie was far, 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 far away from where they were. At that moment, the elevator door opened, and there was a man on the elevator who was coming up from a lower floor, who now they were inconveniencing because he was holding the door open. And they said, "Hang on, we're waiting for cookies." He said, "All right." They said, "Hang on, we're waiting for cookies." He said, "All right." They said, "Hang on, we're waiting for cookies." He said, "All right." They said, "Hang on, we're waiting for cookies." He said, "All right." They said, "Hang on, we're waiting for cookies. We're waiting for cookies. We're waiting for cookies." And then they decided not to wait for the cookies, because they didn't really want the cookies. They were just wanting to be compatible, harmonic co-creators with a man who was wanting to offer them service. But what was out of whack about it? They didn't want the cookie. In other words, they weren't asking for the cookie. They were being offered some. What they wanted was to make the best use of the very brief amount of time that they had. And so they got caught up in someone who was determined to serve. And then they felt guilty because they left him. They're sure that he's standing there at the elevator with the cookies, wondering what has happened to them, you say. And so this is a world that's based upon attraction. And when you don't try to answer questions that aren't being asked or solve problems that have not been presented to you, but instead you allow law of attraction to cause the rendezvous, because there is always a rendezvous between a question and an answer. There is always a rendezvous between a problem and a solution. And once you know that, then you can just get in sync with this, and it is delicious. There are a lot of people who are determined to serve. And what they often leave out of the equation is that if there is a vibrational incompatibility, it's not service, it's harassment.
And that's why alignment first.
Say again?
And that's why alignment first.
Yes. Vortex first, everything else follows.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And so I dreamed of being here last night, and I'm here now, and I want to thank you again.
A dream is a manifestation, and when you begin dreaming, you're right on the heels of the full-blown manifestation. It's a wonderful thing.
Thank you
yes,
so
indeed.
much. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Wait. Yeah. Keep coming. We'll just whack you down if you're wrong when you get here.